Good morning, everybody. Shift your mindset here with a new episode. An episode today of control mechanisms you are allowed to lose. Why am I saying this? Why this topic? Because my mother-in-law is her birthday today. My mother-in-law and father-in-law are staying currently in South Africa with us, and today is her birthday. And for me, a birthday is still a kind of a funny thing because I'm not used to it, and since the year of 4, birthdays are a thing in my life. I like it. I don't do it too big. Don't get over enthusiastic. But if you do, you can. But it's not about doing it differently or not. It's about allowing you that you are free. Because I was thinking the whole JW experience, let me call it that, the whole JW experience for me, more than 35 years as a born-in, was about fear, growing up in fear. I remember as a young kid growing up with the fear of Armageddon, the fear of Jehovah watching me, that I couldn't say things in school or whatever to my friends in school because Jehovah was watching me. All those pictures in those magazine and literature about Armageddon and death and war and everything, that sticks to our minds, people. Also, higher education is bad. The shunning. As a kid, I had to shun friends of mine at high school, 15, 16 years old, because they were disfellowshipped. How we see outsiders. We don't trust outsiders. We don't trust the world. All those things I just mentioned, and there are more of it, is based on fear. And the whole Jehovah's Witness organization is running off fear. Fear to lose something, fear to not make it to paradise, fear of everything. But we had the courage to leave the Jehovah's Witnesses. And everybody who did, I applaud you. You are courageous. You are strong. You are a magnificent human being. But I'm all about self-development, personal growth, things like that. And from the beginning, learning in life is deprogramming, is not adding things, but letting things go. We have to go back to the core of a human being, to be simple at a base, grateful for everything around us. And we see things not as an obstacle, but as a learning thing, a learning curve we can build up in our lives. And we all know that the control mechanism we have to lose is everything that is based on fear. For me, it's fear of love. You can choose. But I understand sometimes it doesn't feel like a choice. Why? Because we are programmed a certain way and the fear kicks in. It's an automatic process. But if you take your time, like me now, I'm sitting here on my own in nature. Sometimes I withdraw myself from the people in the house and I'm gonna sit in nature for about an hour. My mind isn't working then and then I can put in new things, and I get air in my body and space in my body for other things. Because our brain is automatically going to warning us for things. Oh, that's bad. Oh, this. Most of the time we have negative thoughts about things we see, but also about ourselves. And that mechanism is still running in our head. And it's logical, because like me, I was 30 years inside that religion. I was born in. It was my only perspective. It was my only world. And now there's a whole world around it. But that doesn't mean that if you leave the Jehovah's Witnesses, that you're cured of all those toxic things that were put into your mind. And that's what this video is about. So let's go and let's explore together what we can do maybe on a certain area in our lives to lose that control mechanism, to turn it around. Because one of the things I see the last days especially is people who are having the same mindset as when they were a JW. I see now a lot of videos about the King of the North and the King of the South. And I'm amazed. I think that's typical JW thinking. They left the JW organization and they're now saying, yeah, but Trump is cozying up with Putin, so they are allies now almost together. So the Jehovah's Witnesses have it wrong with the King of the North and the King of the South. I don't know. But I don't follow politics at all. Because the politics in the Jehovah's Witnesses is the same as the politics in the government. There's a lot of politics going on in the Jehovah's Witness organization. It's about where we're going with this, what are we going to focus on, how are we going to maneuver out of that a country is taking our grants, so they're going to lie somewhere. It's the same as the government. It's the same way they are ruling as a governing body as they do with the government. They promise you a lot and they do quite the opposite thing. And every time I see people, oh, now it's Trump, he's gonna save us, and he does this, and that's for the people and blah, blah, blah. Every time I don't understand that people after hundreds of years are still thinking that the government is working in their advantage and that the new government is doing things better. Every time they promise you everything, and every time they don't live up to anything. And now all of a sudden, especially in the United States, so many people who have their hopes up about, yeah, this is going to be better, this is going to be better. They had made deals, Biden and Trump, they made deals. I do it this way, so you can do it that way. You can earn the trust of the people again. And the governing body is also doing that. They let Morris go and we think, oh, now we're gonna soften up, the JWs are loosening up, oh, this policy is gonna change, that will be for the better of the people. People are being fooled. And we can't make a decision for other people, but people have the intention to follow other people. That's why there's a religion. That's why there's a government. And that's why nothing is happening on this earth. If we stop paying taxes for 1 month as a whole country because the taxes are too high, what do you think is gonna happen? They're gonna reverse everything. Because we are the 99% and they are the 1%. But no, people keep following them. Even if it's in their disadvantage, people keep following other people. And I'm not one of them. I'm not gonna follow other people. So maybe it's triggering you right now. That's okay. That's good. Then something is happening in you. But now I see people getting all over on YouTube. Yeah, the king of the north and the king of the south and the Jehovah's Witnesses have it wrong. That's still JW mindset. Because you're still busy with the world events. So that what you learned as a Jehovah's Witness, that you were looking out to the world events, because then you know, oh, there's gonna be security and peace era, and that's the thing that happens before Armageddon happens. And oh yeah, look, this in Norway, that's persecution, and it was foretold in the Bible, and blah blah blah. Yes, but what does it do for you now? So world events, lose it and start living your own life. I don't watch the news anymore. Of course, I hear some things and I think, okay, and if I can do something to make my life a bit easier, or I see something I think, oh, this is better for me, I'll do it. But don't focus on world events, because you were taught like that as a Jehovah's Witness. But it's not gonna bring you peace inside. It's good for waking people up, but world events is not the way, I think, to wake people up. Another thing you can lose is the things you experience of shunning. Shunning is one of the most evil things I think someone can endure as an ex-Jehovah's Witness. And shunning can also make someone go back to the organization. If you still, because we're social creatures, we're social human beings, we want something next to us. We want to socialize with people, interact with people. And I understand that. But you can't sell out yourself to go back to an organization because you think it's better to return. Then your whole journey from getting loose from that organization is useless. It become useless. You came so far, and shunning, nobody should experience shunning. But make the shunning, that frustration of shunning, that frustration of having nobody, take that as fuel to focus on the positive things. You are strong enough to go out and make new friends. You are strong enough to build another social network around you. And following on that, it's about conditional love. The Jehovah's Witnesses have conditional love. If you do this, then you're okay. If you do that, you're shunned, you're disfellowshipped. So it's conditional love. And sometimes as an ex-JW, we take that conditional love still with us in our mind. That I can love only someone if he agrees with me, or he's on the same page with me on certain points in life. My wife is quite the opposite of me. And in the beginning I struggled with it, because I thought you always have to be in a good understanding with each other on the same points. But that's so useless, people. I learned so much from my wife with a whole different view, with a whole different stand on some topics in life. You don't have to agree. And it's not if she does this for me, then I can love her. And if she does this, I can love her. And vice versa. It's not how the world works. And there is nothing more than giving somebody unconditional love. And it's scary in the beginning. It was very scary for me that you jump into an abyss. You don't know anything about it. But if you give yourself that permission that you love somebody, even if they say something to you that triggers you at the moment or makes you angry or sad or whatever, if you have that feeling that they say it in my best interest, they say it to help me, they say this now to make me a better person, they say this so I can get rid of the stuff I'm carrying with me from my past, they say this to me to help me grow to the next level. They say this to me because they love me. And that's sometimes hard for an ex-JW to think that someone can love you even if you are at the worst place at that time. Even if you are not putting on a mask. Because we used to act differently with other people. I act differently with my wife than with my mother-in-law. No, I am still the same person now. And then you get that unconditional love from multiple persons. My wife loves me, but my father-in-law or my mother-in-law also loves me for who I am. I don't have to juggle with all those balls and adapt like a chameleon to other people because I think, oh, I get love from my wife if I behave like this. I get love from my father-in-law if I behave like this and if I say this to him because he likes that what I'm saying. No, if I'm now being the same person, me, all the persons around me, completely different persons, are still loving me for who I am. So instead of conditional love and that you have to change and maneuver around people and putting on different masks and to get their approval, be your authentic self and the people will come around you in your social network, completely different people, and they all love you for who you are. So I know it's hard to start a friendship. I know it's hard to trust people because we are being let down so many times maybe in our past life, but lose that mindset. Lose that mindset that somebody can hurt you. If you love yourself, then nobody can hurt you. And that's when you have to trust yourself. You have to be yourself. And if there's no wall around you, nobody can hurt you because you're happy with who you are. And if you're happy with who you are, your good energy will attract like-minded people. I experience it myself. I don't attract people who I don't like around me in my personal life. I have my personal life and I have people around that. But in my personal life, I don't attract people that I don't match energy-wise with. And you don't need a whole big circle now of friends. You only need a few good friends. And you will see that if you are putting yourself out there, you're being your authentic self, you're being real, you don't have an agenda. Because in the organization it was, oh, I need to get this and I have to sweet talk to the elders and stuff like that, and then maybe I get the privileges like ministerial servant and like that. You are moving around like a chameleon. You were being careful not to step on somebody's toes because you don't want the hassle about being called in the back room and stuff like that, and oh, if I say that then it hurts his feelings, and oh, I can't say that to that person because then he gets upset and stuff like that. You were not able to be yourself in any way, and now you have to lose that control mechanism of the governing body. You can be yourself. You are a wonderful being from the inside. You only have to trust down in yourself, believe in yourself, and that you are a wonderful person. You're not out here to harm other people, but please, people, just be your authentic self. Just see what kind of thinking you have about yourself, that you're not worthy of it, that you're not this, you're not that, you're not that. You are worthy. From the beginning that you were born, you were worthy of everything. You don't have to prove something. You don't have to reach certain goals to be worthy enough. No, you're already worthy enough. So, and the last thing, what I had in the beginning was the fear of eternity. I always thought in the beginning, and maybe you're just left religion, you're just leaving the Jehovah's Witnesses, or you're busy leaving the Jehovah's Witnesses. One of the things you can experience in a few months, maybe longer, a year, is that you notice for yourself that you have the fear of eternity. That you think, what if my parents or whatever who are still in the organization have it right and there is a paradise on earth? Because your fear of eternity doesn't have to mean that you left God. You only left that organization. So I think for myself, simple thing, I think if there is a God and he's watching me, I don't think he's watching me, you, and oh no, that I don't like. Oh yes, oh wow, wow, wonderful. Yes, yes, Sven did that. Oh, he helped somebody on the road. Oh, yes, that's a good one. And oh no, he was a little bit angry. One on the other side, that's a negative one. I don't think God is a person like that at all. God is love, so there's no fear in love. But if there is a God and he sees the way how I'm living now, I'm not doing people harm, I'm not harming anybody around me, I'm still want to talk to my father, I still want to have contact with my father, I'm not bad-mouthing even my father, who's still a Jehovah's Witness. If he sees me, I think he will approve of who I am and the way I'm living. I don't think God is punishing me in the end if there's an Armageddon, if there's an earthly paradise, that I wasn't at the meetings and that I wasn't in the ministry and stuff like that. I think the one who is a good person will meet another good person. If I do good to somebody, somebody does a good thing to me. That's how it works. That's how the world works. You have to just be good for other people have to be good for you. I'm not here to harm people, I'm not here to kill people, I'm not here to whatever to do to people. I'm here only to live my life in the best way that I think I can live my life, and also help others on my journey here on earth. So if there's a God, I'm sure he will approve everything that I'm doing. And if there's an earthly paradise, I certainly will make it. So that's just a tip for me. Lose your fear of that eternity. Lose the fear of Armageddon. Lose the fear of an earthly paradise. It can be still stuck in your head, I understand, but it makes no difference. The only difference there is you are not following an organization anymore. And that's the thing I wanted for myself. I want to rely on me. I want to rely on myself. I want to make my own decisions. And I couldn't cope anymore with the new light exodus of the JWs, because I don't think God is here to give some people every few years new light on a certain doctrine and change the complete doctrine of the JWs in the last 100 years. So people, we all cope with some control mechanisms we inherited from the JW religion. I hope you take a break today, this weekend, sit somewhere, maybe in nature, do something you like, maybe walking, it's also a good one, or just sitting somewhere. Stop your thinking, do something where your thinking will stop, and then just think about what holds me back. What is still something that's automatically in the background running my program, running my life. Just a little advice, I do it every week. I think, what can I let go now that's still holding me back from being the best version of myself? So great exercise, try it out. Let me know what's holding you still back, or what old belief is still running your system. Maybe a little bit still, but it's holding you back from living that greater potential that you can be in life. Let me know in the comments, like this video, share this video with someone who has to see it, and we see each other on the next episode.